Welcome guys to another hair update from Dove Love Moon. This is how the color for screen from Iro Iro has faded, and it's definitely time for an update. But for this part one, we're going to do another trim from the wolf cut, and I'm going to describe to you everything about how adjustable this wolf cut is and why I love it so much. So stay tuned. So here are the 4 things that I absolutely love about the wolf cut. Putting your hair in a ponytail and giving it a trim, like Brad Mondo said, I watched a lot of different videos, including a reaction compilation from Brad Mondo for this wolf cut trend. This is nothing new, like he said. Putting your hair in a ponytail, putting another thing on it to hold the hair in place. This is nothing new. This is an old technique. However, it does have a little bit of a twist. Apparently it can also be called a unicorn cut because you're putting it towards the front. So, I want to make sure I get this, like, up there. Here is the #1 thing that I love about this wolf cut trend. It is endlessly adjustable. Here's the gist of it. You put your hair in a ponytail, you put another ponytail on the end. Easy peasy, right? In the last video, I put the ponytail about here, kind of straight up from the center of my head. The further back you put the ponytail, the longer the front layers are going to be. And as long as the ponytail is more towards the front than the back, the front layers will be shorter. So you can adjust how sharp of an angle these layers are going to be, how much of a difference between the layers are going to be. I wanted a very subtle difference, so I put the ponytail directly in the center, the very top of my head. I want these layers to be shorter so that the trim will last a bit longer. So what I'm doing is putting this, now for other people this could be very different. I tried moving this as much to the front as possible. You can try to get it even more up there. I have a very high forehead, so even putting it as far forward as I can, it's not going to be as much of an angle as other people's would be, but that's okay. I just don't have as much forward of an option. So the farther forward you put it, the shorter the front pieces are going to be, the more of an angle and a difference in layers you're going to have. That's the first adjustment. Alright, I think that's about as far to the front as we can get it. The second adjustment is that you can do more than one ponytail. So I've seen up to 3 ponytails where someone does this with one full section, and then they'll take a section, for example, behind the ears, back here, create another ponytail. It's going to be a smaller section of hair, and that will create even more layers. If you want yet even more layers, you can create a 3rd ponytail, especially if you have a lower forehead, you have more hair at the front. Take the section in front of your ears, have that at the front as well, trim that piece also. You could even take a shorter section. So here's another way it's adjustable. I cut here, have a very short haircut, or I can move this up as high as I want and just cut here. So it's adjustable with how many sections you can take and therefore how many layers you'll have. And it's adjustable with how much hair you can take off, like so. I'm just doing a trim. All right, here's reason number 2 why I love the wolf cut trend. It gives incredibly flattering layers. So reason number 1 why I love this wolf cut trend is because it is incredibly adjustable. You can adjust it by, if you want more difference in the angle. So if you want shorter to longer layers, you want the shorter layers to be shorter, the longer layers to be longer. If you want more of a stark difference in those layers, you want to move the ponytail up further towards the front of your head. If you want very subtle layers, move it to the center of the head. If you move it past that, you're going to start having less and less of a layered effect. You know, putting up a low ponytail and then cutting it, you'll actually have longer layers in the front. So if you move past this halfway point, you start moving towards that longer layers in the front rather in the back. At least that's how it makes sense in my head. Pretty sure that's how it'll work. Judging by the haircuts I've done with ponytails in the back and how this one has worked so successfully for me. So my last one, I wanted very subtle layers with longer layers in the front. Not a big difference between these shorter layers and the longer layers. So I put it right in the center. This time, put it right up front, did that first cut. Another reason it's so adjustable is because you can change where you're cutting it by moving this. You want shorter layers, have it up further, longer layers, have it move closer to the end of your hair. All of that's pretty common sense and straightforward. Reason number 2 that I love this haircut trend. It gives really, really incredibly flattering layers. Really super easy way to add in layers. You see these shorter layers go all the way around the head. That's what adds all this volume up here. My hair was already fluffy because I did my usual prep routine for dyeing. But you can see adds in these really flattering layers. So you can go behind the ears, take that section. You can go in front of the ears, take this section. For people like myself who have very high foreheads, this is going to be a very small section. And adjust this to the length we want. I'm gonna go about cheekbone. You can also look at the layers you have here, which are at my jaw. I wanna take off about 1 inch. Remember to include that you're cutting above the thing here, the band. You can make this a nice, short, jaw to shoulder length classic wolf cut, or you can use it to add in really flattering layers super easily to a longer haircut. Which is reason number 3 why I love this trend, because it preserves the length of your hair while still trimming all of these different layers. This is especially important for people who have curly hair or hair like myself. It does not all grow in at one length. Nobody's hair rarely does, but some people's do more than others. Mine is all sorts of different lengths, so when I trim it, it's really only getting the end pieces that are helping to be healthy. This trims a bunch of different layers, which means it's helping more of my hair get a fresh trim. And you can see how cute these layers are, the volume that it gives, how easy it was. Overall, incredibly impressed, and those are the 4 reasons why I love the wolf cut trend, and I may very well never cut my hair a different way again, unless we come up with some new incredible thing. But I really like this for long hair, for any haircut, but for myself who's been wanting to keep long hair and continue growing it, this is a very flattering way for me to do that. So I'm very happy and grateful. Plus, we want things to be easy, right? We want them to be easy and fast if you're doing your own hair stuff. If you don't really feel like going into a salon or anything like that, whatever the reason may be, we want things to be easy, right? So let's go ahead and show you how I do my super easy lazy girl way of touching up my color.